Yes, you didn't realize it. They're never over. Never over. You compete or you're not.
You're out there working on a teak. Aren't you?
Right.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know all the terms.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we've concluded working on free agency in there right now, rookie free agency, and, it's kind of like surgeons, doctors, and they're never like, I don't know, that operation was just okay, Obviously, you guys, hear us say this every year. We're super excited. We thought it went great. Really, really proud of the collaboration between the coaches and the personnel staff on how all the preparation went throughout the weekend, the communication, what's going on in there right now with rookie free agency, and just feel real blessed that we were able to, what started out as 4 picks to get to
Russell wants in.
to get to.
Russ, we're in the press conference. I can't talk to you now. That's all right. I'll call you in a bit. See it.
To get to 11 was a big deal for us. So
everybody wants to know.
I think you see a constant theme through here. Smart, tough, reliable guys. Physicality, special teams help, and just adding a ton of competition and some alpha dogs to this group. So.
When your week started, what was realistic pick total you think you did?
7?
Yeah, we think 6 or 7, hoping to get to there.
Yeah.
Just leapfrogged it.
What did you for additional beyond that? What's that give you now, team-wise, roster building-wise? What opportunities are those particular extra picks?
Well, that's it. Opportunities, opportunities to be able to coach and develop guys and try to accentuate these guys' strengths. And we have a solid group of guys right here in this building right now. Now we're adding a whole new group of guys to come in and try to take it to another level.
It really surpassed my expectations that we could be like we are. We're thrilled with what happened, and all of the work and that was done to get it done put us in a whole different framework, and it's really exciting. It's going to be competitive, which is exactly the way we like it. Guys are going to be battling at spots, and it's going to really it forces the energy and the juice of what camp will be like. This is just beyond our expectations.
Pete, you kind of touched on this yesterday, but how much did that extra first set you guys up to make all these moves you did and kind of get to where you were at the end?
Yeah, I really think it was the key to kick start this thing. John was able to make a couple decisions and work a couple angles, and before you know it, we were rolling, and it just started flowing from there. It kind of felt like kind of a slow start a little bit, as we were getting going, but as soon as we just got to working it, the opportunities were created, and really we had to make some big decisions on the move, and our experience and really showed up, and it was really well done. They did a great job.
Yeah, I really thought Scott and Trent and Matt Berry and Fit. I thought those guys, Nolan. I thought those guys did an excellent job of working the phones and keeping us in as many things as they possibly could, and that's something that we pride ourselves on, not just this weekend, but throughout the whole process. You guys have heard us talk about, trying to know the landscape of what's happening in the National Football League, and that draft choice with Frank definitely helped us. We're not in the habit of giving away outstanding pass rushers, and we both have a fond place in our hearts for Frank, and we always will.
How important was bolstering your special teams for you guys going into this draft?
It always is. I mean, three units. I mean, it's when you have guys that you can add depth to specific positions and competition at certain positions, and then they're going to be special teams players for sure. Now we know a lot of these guys are going to be special teams players. They've already done it. They've proven it. This isn't like some of them are projections, but the majority of them are. We know. We've seen them play on teams, and it's different, right, Pete? I mean, it's a different feel. You have to have an instinctive feel for knowing how to block in space and knowing how to cover, and it's a different deal.
I think it's the move that John was able to make to get Jason Myers in here really kind of kick-started the emphasis of let's make sure and make
No
this
pun
special,
intended.
make this, that really, the special teams aspect of this club really be there and ready to answer the call of being a championship level. And right down the list, all of these guys we talked to already, we have evaluated as special teams guys, and that was a big part of the factor. So we're really excited about, there's some terrific guys that will be competing for their time right off the bat. So the linebackers jumping in, the safeties,
Why special
those guys in
teams
particular.
specifically being made a focus?
Well, it
I
was
mean,
just,
I'm sure
it,
it always
it
is.
was
Yeah,
just,
it always
it's
is.
all, like
It
John
always
said.
is, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's the first time I remember in a draft mentioning like we really wanted to focus on.
Well, I think it's just kind of, that's something.
It's just the way it kinda happened.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
happened, but it wasn't an intent. Just we're trying to make everything as competitive as we can, and really leading the charge. Really, about being really competitive with all of our guys, and that mentality on each kid that we would add to the team, kind of suits the whole thing about playing on teams, and I mean right down the list.
And we had a lot. We had a
It's
lot of buy-in, a lot of work that was put in by Brian Schneider and Larry Izzo too.
Yep.
Larry's played in this league for a long time, and so those guys, they sat all the way through our offensive meetings, our defensive meetings, and just we had a real cool collaboration, communication with the special teams coaches and the personnel guys.
Could you talk specifically about Ben Burr-Kirven in that regard, and also just his overall deal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. He's
Yeah, well-
he's awesome.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really an exciting pick to evaluate because he's such a unique type of player, and whenever you get a guy that's this active and has these kinds of numbers, you got to take a look. And we took a really deep look at what Ben's all about, and he reminded me so much of Lofa Tatupu, and the Lofa had this extraordinary knack for finding the football in unique ways, and the way he fit in the running game. He was amazing. Well, this is the way Ben plays, and so there was our guys all latched onto him, and with the productivity has also got speed, and the special knack was really something we were excited about. We know he's going to be a factor on special teams. He's going to be running down those kicks and making hits, so it was he's recognized as a really big time player, and the fact that he's local, pretty cool. So
Funny story about him. When I usually do Washington's, I'll try to sneak over there in training camp or something, but I usually go over there later in the year because it's so close and easy school visit. And I was having trouble with the computer and the DV Sport deal, so I went and asked the video guy if he could help me, and I hadn't looked at stats or anything like that, and I'm like, yeah, this BBK makes a ton of plays, man. This guy's he's super active. And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, he's leading the nation in tackles right now. I was like, oh yeah, I totally knew that. I totally knew he's leading the nation in tackles right now because I'm keeping track of that. I got so much stuff in my mind I wasn't. The guy's so productive, it's ridiculous.
You guys both mentioned the plan had been to sign Frank long term. That obviously didn't work out.
Yeah.
You chose a defensive end with that pick that you got from Kansas State. What else is left to do to find that pass rush that you lost with him?
there is work that we're engaged in, and this is this stage of the filling up the roster, and we're very much involved with what's coming up next too. So we're not done. We got work to do, and we're excited about what's coming up. You guys will see in time.
Danny, we talk about those phases of free agency. Really, there's basically 3 or 4 different phases, and we're basically now heading into phase 3.
You mentioned kind of tough physical guys. It seems like a lot of these guys on both sides of the ball are known as hitters, physical guys. Was that, that's always a focus for you guys, but did you kind of seek those guys out this draft?
No, we prefer those guys instead of the really soft guys that can barely tackle. Sorry.
Finesse oriented.
John, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're
like
cool,
no more.
but yeah, of
No more
course,
emphasis
man.
than usual.
No, those guys that fly around and knock the crap out of people, yeah, absolutely. Just go down the list, Collier,
Every one of these guys
Blair,
are physical players. Every one of them.
Metcalf, Barton, Jennings is super strong after the catch. Phil, Phil's a monster. Ugo, Ben Burr, Homer's a really good
all around
special teams player. Christmas is a big man. Ursula, I don't think he's gonna like knock.
I don't think we'll give him the.
Pete, how does Phil fit into what you want to do up front?
Phil is a guy that we targeted early because of his makeup and his style of play. You know, we're really excited about the way our guards have been playing. You know, and you saw us go out and get Mike Iapati to go along with what DJ has done. We thought early on that this is a guy that fit in the mold of that. He's going to be 340 pounds. He's really strong. He's really a physical guy. Likes to finish blocks and knock guys down. He's got an attitude about him, and he just looked like he would fit the bill to compete with those guys. And so we have shifted gears in the last couple of years here, and this is an indication of that. It was really a guy that we had cited from early on, and John figured out where he would go, and we were able to nail it. But specifically because of his makeup, that kind of matched up with the kind of guys that we're really having. We had some success with, and we're excited about.
How's he in pass pro when you looked at the table?
They did a lot of throwing now, you know, down there, and he's done fine. He's got a lot of work to do there, as all the young guys do, but he's coming off the rock with a real physical style that we're really excited about.
You like him at either guard spot?
Yeah, well, he's been playing left guard. He'll be able to play both of them in time, but we'll start him on the left side.
How do you like? What are your plans for Ugo?
Well, he's a very versatile football player, and he's recognized, been awarded some stuff and for recognition of being a really all-around player. He's a safety. We're going to start him off playing back in the middle, playing free safety to start. Marquise will be at the other side, and he's done a lot of coverage stuff on the slots. He's done nickel work in a unique way and been effective there too. So we'd like to see how that works out in time. He's been a returner. He's been able to score a lot of touchdowns. He will be a very instrumental guy in the special teams area as well because he's a runner and a hitter. So, but I don't want to overdo the young guys with too many obligations. He's going to be in special teams. He's going to play safety. So we'll start him at free safety and find out what it feels like with him there, and knowing that he will be able to use him in coverage in time, man-to-man stuff.
Today too. Is that right? Had you guys heard that?
No,
I didn't know that.
Not, no.
I didn't.
Thanks for the heads up. We probably should have known that. No. Pete and I talked to a head coach in the Pac-12 this week that talked about, because he is a shorter guy, you have some questions about the length and all that kind of stuff, but he just talked about the presence you feel from him on the field, that he's a total alpha dog, and so we went for it. The guy totally pulls the trigger, and he's an explosive cat.
How important was it the receivers, getting a couple of receivers? Can you just talk about each of those guys and making the move to get the guy at the end?
Yeah, so DK was, he lasted, and we definitely moved up to go grab him. And then Jennings, he had a great, coming out of that offense, there's always questions, right? But he did a great job at the Senior Bowl. He was, he's the fastest guy, on the GPS. They tracked him at 23 miles an hour. Jim Nagy's running that now. That used to work for us, and he had the fastest speed of anybody at the Senior Bowl down there, with a zebra timing, and phenomenal hands, really strong after the catch. And then John's just been, honestly, one of our favorite players throughout the whole process. We came in, he had an awesome visit with us. He scored 16. He led the nation on touchdown. Yeah, he led the nation. Yeah, with 16 touchdowns, and he's going to come in and compete for that slot spot. He's a really cool kid. He did his. He went to Paris. Yeah, I think it was in Paris. Yeah, that's where he did his mission.
Did you guys know about Gary's connection with Russell?
Oh yeah, we had that nailed.
Yeah.
No.
Instrumental in the decision.
No, we're not.
Jennings a slot guy too. Jennings slot.
Not really. He could be that power guy in there, but he's really he's a really strong hitch, smoke, and he can fly for a 216-pound guy, so he can track it down the field.
You think they know hitch and smoke? I don't know. They know that.
Yeah.
Hitch and smoke?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Informed group. It's good.
With that in mind, to add two guys with speed like DK and Gary to your mix of receivers, just how enticing is that to you to have that element coming in.
It was really important going in. That was really the number one thing. We wanted to get fast and make sure that we can complement the stuff that we like running down the field, take advantage of Russell's ability to throw the ball down the field, which is awesome, and be able to complement the work that we were able to do with Tyler, and make sure that he's not the only fast guy, that really can take the top off. And so we hit it, and we're really excited about that.
How does a guy like John, who's I think he's listed at 5'10", 5'9", how does he compensate for the lack of size?
Suddenness, instant separation, really good feel for sitting in zone and setting guys up. He's got really good shake off the line of scrimmage, and then he's got deceiving speed too. He would like to have had his 40 time back, but he plays much faster than that.
John, as good as this draft was for edge rushers,
Yeah.
did it go kind of quickly, and when did it start kind of running out?
Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what round?
First.
First.
Yeah. Well, they were 12 defensive linemen or something taken in the first round, plus Josh. You had him in. It was kind of attack right off the bat.
Yeah, I think after Chase went.
Mm-hmm. How were you
Sure.
physically on Gary and Sweat, as far as they've been able to pass the physicals here?
I'm not supposed to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travis Homers, what kind of back is he? What does he bring?
Third down. I mean, he can be an every down back. He's really tough. He's only 20 years old. He's a grit guy for us. Hell of a special teams player. He can play on third down. We actually had him in the third down category because he had such good hands out of the backfield. Really good instincts. Just a really, really tough.
Pass blocker too.
Yeah, really
He
good
does
pass
everything well.
protection.
Really, you can do it all.
Yep.
With adding the two new safeties, and it sounds like a free and a strong as we have these two new guys, how do you assess that? I mean, you have Delano there at Bradley as well.
We need the competition, We really do. We just need to keep it competitive and let that take care of, most of the decision making there through opportunity. Let those guys go at it. Because we're very, very young, other than Bradley, and he's a terrific leader for those guys. But it's really, if you notice, the linebackers and the safeties, again, we wanted to make sure those guys have the versatility and the special teams aspects as well. And that was really important that we could back that up and just make it way more competitive, and it'll bring out the best in everyone.
With what you've learned about McDougal, what seems to be his best spot for your defense?
Using the versatility is to do everything with him. He can play close to the line of scrimmage. He's a very efficient run player. He's our best all-around coverage guy for matching people up. And if you remember how we watched him in the dime situations where we put him on receiver or tight ends, as well as the backs and all of those special things. It's through his experience that he's really good at all that stuff. So I don't think we pigeonhole him. He can do whatever we need him to do, and we do that in how we plan. We use him that way.
What kind of role do you see Demarcus Christmas sliding into?
He's going to play three technique to start us out, and just like to bring him along. He's a good, tough guy, can do a lot of good stuff. We just want to develop him. We need the depth and we need the girth, 300-pound plus guy. So we're just he'll start at three technique.
Does he have the potential to do any nose for you, or is it mainly three?
He could, but that's not something we're looking for. I mean, he will play there some, sure. Those guys will rotate, but we'd like to see him load up and play three technique and see how he does there first.
Are you okay with the depth there, defensive tackle, or you
Well, we picked one because we thought it was important. We'll continue to work to develop that.
Was beefing up the depth of linebacker a priority, or did these guys just kind of fall to you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. This year's class was much better than last year's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good linebacker class.
Did any of your analytics play a role in any of the decisions you made, like that helped you guys, like put a player over the top in your eyes or something like that?
Yeah, we worked.
Sure.
We worked with Patrick and Josh and Brian Ayers all the way through it. Leading up to it, yeah, it's a checks and balances deal. Makes you, both Pete and I sat with them, just the analytics guys, probably 2 days before, just to kind of go through the board and
probably the most intricately involved with we've ever been. We're the best we've ever been in that area, and John had him in his room, really consistently throughout. And those guys
they're
were
in our
on
meetings
everything.
all the time.
They heard everything, and they added consistently. It was a really nice aspect of the process.
Is there a position group where using that side of it analytics is most beneficial?
Not that we can determine yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
You guys mentioned the connections you guys now have around the league and with each other. Could you pull off these 7 extra picks even a few years ago? Is this something you could have been able to orchestrate?
No, I don't know. We're always been involved, but I think we're as good as we've ever been. And I mean, John's efficiency with his guys, they were on it. It was like clockwork. We were able to. There were no restrictions. We were able to do whatever was available, and just watching. I'm saying that because he want to talk about himself, but to watch the way they function was really, really special. It was great expertise, and I think we're the best we've been at that. Just observing it. I'm sitting on the outside of them, watching them work, and it was really, really well done.
Is there any one guy that you were most surprised was there when you were picking him compared to anyone else in the class? Like when you got there, anyone that stands out?
I'm going to say DK because we had, we never would have thought that we would have had the shot to get him, throughout. And then when John realized just snapped at the opportunity to get a pick to elevate so we could have that 64th pick, it was really, I was shocked. That was as much fun as I've had in a moment because just didn't think we'd ever have that guy on our team, I just didn't think it would happen. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was just like everything converged perfectly, nailed it. Yes, we got the trade, and bang, 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 and he made it to us, and it was really exciting.
Pete, how deep is this team right now for talent?
John, I think we're in pretty good shape right now. If everything keeps coming, we got to keep moving forward and keep all of our guys in. We have some guys that have to get well, and as they're rehabbing through the off season, but I feel like we have competitive players across the board. This was not a draft we went in and we had big holes in our team, we didn't feel like that. We really were able to look at the guys and see who was coming down the pike, and John played the rhythms of the draft well so that we hit the linebackers that was a nice spot to hit. That really is going to make us competitive. I think the receiver thing is going to be really competitive. We're already competitive at the running back spot. I mean, those guys are battling just for their play time right now. So and the O-line with a couple things that have happened, getting Mike and then picking up today with Phil, it just seems really solid. Tight end position is solid. We're excited about the quarterback position. The little bit we've been able to tell from Paxton, he looks like he's going to give us an exciting choice there to see how he develops. So, and we nailed the kicking game. Jason and Michael, and so there's a lot of good stuff going on, and that's why we have felt like that anyway. And then look, we just took 11 guys. We never would have thought that would have happened. So, and we're not done. We're not done. John's got a lot of stuff he's working on the next couple of weeks. Will be really exciting for us. So, this feels like one of those rosters that we've had maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where we were, I don't know, maybe it was about 5 years ago, when it really felt like there were guys on our team that other people don't want. And that's a good spot to be in.
Was that the 13 team or 14?
It was both those years right in there. We're the ones, and it's taken some time to get back to that. We've seen the cycle of the roster move, and this is a really exciting spot right now.
John, what was it about Usua that made you want to use a pick from next year to go get him right now at that point in time? What was it about him that made that a priority at that point?
Well, when you're in the 7th, besides the player who we all really liked as a competitive slot receiver, you have to look at, when you're in the 7th round, you have to look at where guys have visited and who's had private workouts with them and who spent the most amount of time with them. And so he had spent time with several teams that we were concerned about, and we were worried about not being able to sign him as a rookie free agent. We did not have a 7th round pick, so we had 12 picks next year, so we were like, let's go get the guy that everybody feels really good about, and let's just lock it down. He's a really cool kid.
You mentioned 6 or 7 teams were talking to him about undrafted.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you guys in on that?
I hope so. I don't know.
We would have been when the draft's over.
Anything else? Are you still waiting to decide on the Fetty and if you're gonna pick that up?
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Yeah, we're still waiting on that.
Pete, you mentioned
We just got through the draft, man. Come on.
Just didn't know. Well, we don't have a chance to talk to you for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you got that right. You got him, big guy.
That's right. Oh, man.
You mentioned on television weeks and months maybe for the Golden Resolution. Is there any more clarity on how
Weeks, I
long?
would say weeks.
Okay.
Gonna wait and see.
Tight end position.
It's just the procedure stuff.
Comfortable with where Will Disley is.
He's making great progress. Really, everybody's really excited that he's he's going to be okay and ready to go by the time we open up. And so at camp will be really interesting time to see how far he's come. He's running, he's working it. He looks good. His attitude's great. His weight's up, and all that. Strength is really good. So everything is really pointing towards he's going to be very competitive again. And we loved the start he had with us last time around. So our hopes are really high that he'll be a big part.
Which one of those draft clues was supposed to tell us about LJ?
I would never give that up. But it was obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I know.
One take on the piano? How many
Which
takes
one
was
was
it?
No, that was one take. I appreciate you bringing that up.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks.